I will call to order this December meeting of the Bloomington Board of Park Commissioners. And we obviously just have two of us here in person, but we do have Ellen there remotely. And we don't have Kim, but we have Kim's step-in person to help us. Can you do the roll call vote for us, please?
Of course. Kathleen Mills.
Here.
Ellen Rocky.
Here.
Jim Whitlatch.
Here.
Okay. All right. And we don't have Israel, but we do have a quorum. And just to confirm, we do need to do the roll call vote with every, yeah, okay. All right, so we have all of the A1 through A15 consent calendar items that we usually approve in one motion.
Move we approve the consent agenda, items A1 through A15.
I'll second.
Okay, and a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills.
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey.
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay. Consent calendar is approved. And then in section B, public hearings and appearances, we have the Bravo Award, which Emily Book will tell us about.
Sorry, shocked myself. That actually really startled me. I'm sorry. You're welcome. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Emily Boot, Community Relations Coordinator, and I would like to recommend Alan Boley for the December Bravo Award. I would like to recognize Alan with the December Bravo Award in recognition of their exceptional contributions as a makeup artist for our annual Dearly Departed Cemetery tours at Rose Hill Cemetery. And Crystal was on vacation, so she couldn't be here, but she provided this that she would like me to read. For the past 2 years, Alan has brought history to life, quite literally, through their artistry. This immersive experience would not be the same without the remarkable work Alan does behind the scenes. Alan shows great attention to detail as they transform volunteers into ghostly figures from the past, using makeup not just as an art, but as a storytelling tool. Their work adds authenticity and atmosphere, captivating guests and enriching the tour experience. In addition to Dearly Departed, Alan also volunteered their time to help with makeup at Skate and Scare as well. So on behalf of everyone, we're very grateful for Alan's generous contributions.
So is that one of Alan's creations up there? Is that, wow, that looks like a mask. That's fairly impressive.
I thought it was two at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Well, thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Okay, and then next in section C, C1, we have the non-reverting budget amendment for purchase of the new mobile stage, which Leslie, yes? Okay, will tell us about. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Leslie Brinson, Recreation Division Director. Staff recommend the approval of a non-reverting budget amendment to allow for the purchase of a new Showmaster mobile stage. This purchase price of the stage is $155,882. The current Winger mobile stage used for parks, events, and various other community events was purchased in December of 2003, and it's starting to experience significant wear and tear, as well as challenges with its hydraulic systems, battery, and brake. In November, members of the Parks Operations and Recreation Divisions, as well as our city fleet manager, took a trip to Century Industries in Sellersburg, Indiana, to take a look at mobile stages. Staff determined that their stage was appropriate for our needs, and also discovered that the stage, if it were to be purchased in 2026, that the price was going to increase significantly due to Century Industries price increases, to a tune of additional at least $30,000. In order to get the best pricing, we wanted to make the purchase in 2025. The Parks and Recreation Department's non-reverting overall cash balance is around $1.5 million, and the Community Events Fund line in the non-reverting account has a budget surplus of this year of about $80,000. We currently project that the non-reverting account overall will have a budget surplus at the end of around $133,000. So making this purchase would ultimately leave a budget deficit of around $22,000 in 2020. $22,000. The production time for a new stage is approximately 8 months, so we will continue to use our current stage until the new one arrives, and then once the new one arrives, we will look at surplusing or selling our current stage. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, and mobile stage, so this is used in various locations around?
Correct. This is the stage we take to Bryant Park for our concert series, Switchyard Park. It's also available to rent out to the community, so you might see it at Taste of Bloomington or different events around town as well.
Okay. Any other questions for Leslie?
I have no questions.
Okay,
All right, I move that we approve the non-reverting budget amendment for purchase of new mobile stage.
Second.
okay, and a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. And then next in C2 is the updated rental agreement template from Mark Sterner.
Mark Sterner, General Manager of the Twin Lakes Recreation Center. The Twin Lakes Recreation Center and the Twin Lakes Sports Park, along with Winslow Sports Park, are seeking to make changes to our current rental agreement. Over the past couple of years, these facilities have experienced growing number of cancellations from tournament directors. It is our intent to include a non-refundable deposit to secure the facility rental space for events. Cancellations 7 days before the event, per the existing agreement, are causing a variety of issues with revenue and staffing. And the item that we're looking at is located on 2C of the agreement.
Okay. And so you're saying there's been sort of an uptick in people canceling at the?
It's really kind of taken place over the last 3 years, and kind of what we're seeing is the larger events, the more premier events like shoe companies, those events are going up to where they can get 20 courts in a small radius. So, you know, the mid-range events that we get, they oftentimes, if they can get a high school, they will do so. So they'll hold our facility in terms of time until they find out whether or not they get the high school, and then they cancel on us. And at that point, we've turned away events. So it's just turned into a real issue, not just at the rec center, but at the ball fields as well. Cody Martin's seeing the same thing in those areas.
Okay, all right.
Is 7 days, it seems to me that's still a pretty short notice because you're not going to get another tournament in there in 7 days.
It even eliminates a lot of the community from filling some of those spots as well, because they might have already checked and it's not available. So yeah, it's certainly something we feel is necessary at this point. We only generate interest from serious event directors.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it maybe should be
Yeah, more.
30 days or something like that, so that you, now, I guess the question would be if people would balk at that, but I'm not sure they would, quite frankly.
I think 7 days is pretty lenient. We could look at that in the
No, I
future.
think it's too lenient, I guess
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
It's
yeah.
way too lenient.
Yeah.
Non-refundable will help us a lot.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with it, seeing what happens. Ellen, any questions?
No, nothing additional than the 7-day thing was what caught my eye too. It feels really short. So,
Okay.
but if we're asking for a non-refundable deposit, and we'll get that.
Okay.
And you all disappeared for me, but hopefully I didn't disappear
Well,
for you.
we can still see you.
Okay.
All right, I move we approve the updated rental agreement template.
I'll second that.
Okay, and a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
And then in C3 is the service agreement with Woods Electric for the 2026 services. Darren Eads.
Good afternoon, Darren Eads, Sports Facility Coordinator. Yeah, you have before you this afternoon the service agreement. As you've been told over and over and over, we're trying to bundle a bunch of these agreements together. Woods is one of the electrical companies, one of the several electrical companies Parks Department uses throughout the year. So we'll just look at a blanket agreement of $20,000, and it allows us to be able to bring them in throughout the year for unexpected repairs. Be glad to answer any questions.
All right, any questions for Darren?
No questions? All
No?
right.
Okay.
I move that we approve the service agreement with Woods Electric for 2026 services.
Second.
Okay, and a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Thanks.
Okay, all right, thanks, Darren. And Mary Wells has C4, the agreement with Habitat Solutions for 2026 Griffey prescribed fire.
Good evening, Mary Wells, Natural Resources Manager. Here to recommend the approval of a contract with Habitat Solutions for implementing prescribed fire and forest stand improvement services at Griffey Lake Nature Preserve. The total contract amount is $17,380. Just to give you a little bit of background, sorry. Prescribed fire and forest stand improvement are recommended forest management practices to improve forest health and wildlife habitat. In both 2020 and 2023, Habitat Solutions successfully implemented pretreatment FSI, or forest stand improvement, and prescribed fire on 7.7 and 9 acre burns at the preserve. Under this contract, Habitat Solutions will implement prescribed fire on a separate 15 acre burn unit, which is north of Griffey Creek in winter through spring of 2026, as long as conditions are favorable, which is a big if. As with previous managed burns, the Bloomington Fire Department will be encouraged to be on hand to assist with hazard mitigation to minimize risk. And then Habitat Solutions will again be conducting the forest stand improvement as a pre-treatment within the designated burn unit. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, so this is a bigger area. This is like twice the size.
Yes, a little bit bigger, just to provide more impacts, and the area itself is conducive to a larger unit based on the natural fire breaks that already exist with ravines and trails. So a unit this size in that area will make our prep in terms of providing those fire lines, secure fire lines, a little bit easier. So, and it's ideally situated in terms of aspect, in terms of that south-facing slope that we're looking for.
Okay, all right. Any other questions for Mary?
I don't have any. All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Move that agreement with Habitat Solutions for 2026 Griffey prescribed fire be approved.
A second.
Okay, and a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Mary. That motion is carried. And Amy has the service agreement with Izzy's Rentals for 2026 Portalets.
Yes, hi. Amy Lionbeck, the Operations Coordinator. This is a renewal of our contract with Izzy's to service our portable toilet units on trails, multiple parks throughout the city. Most of them are on a weekly basis. They shift from once a week to twice a week during the busier seasons, so we have a pretty detailed schedule worked out with Izzy's. And then we also use them on an ad hoc basis for other community event rentals that we need throughout the year. So, just.
Since I think it was last meeting, we talked about the portalet in Seminary Square needing a lot of additional cleaning. Do you get any sort of report from Izzy's if there are problem units that are attracting a lot of?
We have our staff are also going to all these units multiple times a week, and so we'll get pictures and reports from our staff usually.
Okay.
And then they'll go and then we let Izzy's know if we need a repair, and they're usually really good at coming out and repairing units for us if something happens to them.
Okay.
So does this include the one in Seminary Square?
No.
That's a separate contract?
Yeah.
And it's with a different company, is it?
Yes.
And so where are these I get the temporary ones we bring in, but I'm trying to think where the other ones might be.
There are several.
You don't
on
need to
different-
tell me all of
Yeah,
them.
there's some on Clear Creek Trail.
Okay.
There's one at RCA temporarily while the restroom buildings are closed for the pickleball court there. I'm blanking, but, sorry. Yes, Upper Cascades, Wabahani, Bryan Park. Yeah, anyone else? Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. All right.
I've got a very detailed schedule if anyone's interested.
Not really.
I spend way more of my life than I ever thought I would thinking about this, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I think,
Anything, Ellen? Okay, I move that we approve the service agreement with Izzy's Rentals for 2026 Portalet services.
I'll second.
okay, and a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Okay, all right, thank you, Amy. Motion is carried. And C6, Heidi has the Environmental Resource Advisory Council appointments.
Yeah, Heidi Shoemaker, Natural Resources Coordinator, and I am here to propose that you accept the reappointment of 4 members of our Environmental Resources Advisory Council. All 4 members have been longstanding members of this group of individuals that help kind of guide decision-making on natural resources, properties, and facilities. We meet 6 times a year for an hour and a half at various locations around the community. The 4 members in question are Denise Gardner, Bill Jones, Marnie Potter, and Angie Shelton, and they will be 4 of the 9-member committee. If they are appointed tonight, we still have 2 openings for this committee and are accepting applications.
Okay, all right.
Were these the only, were there other applications, or these were the 4 that were on there agreed to reserve, and you're looking for 2 more?
Yes, so these 4, they serve a 2-year term. Their term is ending at the end of December, and they have reapplied to continue into another 2-year term. We have 1 member that chose not to reapply, and then we had 1 member that stepped down early from their appointment, and so that's where our other 2 openings are, but there have not been any other applications that have come in.
Okay, thank you. All right, I move that we approve the Environmental Resource Advisory Council appointments.
I'll second.
And a roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
All right, motion is carried, thank you.
And if I could just make one comment, or
Oh,
I guess
yes.
2. One is the credentials of the people on EROC are quite impressive, so just gratitude to those folks for continuing to serve, and a PSA that if anyone is paying attention to this meeting, please apply and fill those other 2 positions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, good.
All right, and Joanna Sparks for C7 will tell us about the agreement with Nature's Way for downtown planter replanting.
Yes, Joanna Sparks, Urban Green Space Manager, here this evening to recommend the approval of a contract with Nature's Way for landscaping services on the courthouse square, not to exceed $13,520, and this will convert the 4 remaining original planters on the courthouse square. We transitioned 12 planters earlier this spring to a different native forward palette, and we had some outliers, and Haskell has converted 7 of those planters to tree beds, native trees and shrubs, and we have 4 remaining. So this is to fund the transition of those final 4 so that we'll have symmetry around the square and brand it so they're all the same. So happy to answer any more questions or any questions.
And presumably a little bit lower maintenance by making
Yes.
some changes? Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
Move that we approve the agreement with Nature's Way for downtown planter replanting.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
All right, thank you, Joanna. Motion carries. And then C8 is the partnership agreement with Visit Bloomington for Freeze Fest, that is hard to say, in a new location.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Leslie Brinson, again, Recreation Division Director. Staff recommends the approval of a partnership agreement between the Parks and Recreation Department and Visit Bloomington for Freeze Fest 2025. Visit Bloomington will be providing parks with an $800 stipend to help cover costs of the event. that would be deposited in our community and events recreation line. This is the first year for this partnership, but not the first year for this event. Freeze Fest will be moving to Switchyard Park in 2025. It'll run on Friday, January 23rd, and Saturday, January 24th. Ice carvers from Ice of America will come to Bloomington to create large ice sculptures that will be placed around the park throughout the week. The event will also include a chili cook-off on Friday night, an ice battle also on Friday night, Winter Palooza, our Saturday kids event, and different family activities along on Saturday. Parks will be providing the pavilion and surrounding park areas, while Visit Bloomington will be coordinating with Ice of America and work with a volunteer committee to organize the ice battle, chili cook-off, food trucks, and sponsorship. Parks will continue to run the Winter Palooza event on Saturday, the 24th from 3 to 5, but have made the event free to the public this year to make it more accessible to those attending Freeze Fest. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, and the ice carver battle, is that sort of like the pumpkin launch and that anyone can, do you have to bring a chainsaw?
No, I think we're
okay.
going to do this one a little bit different.
Okay.
Although I like where you're,
Okay.
where you're thinking. So Ice of America will provide two teams of 2 that will be on our mobile stage. They'll have a certain period of time, and then in teams they carve large structures, and the crowd gets to vote on who wins. There's lights and music, and it becomes kind of a whole event in itself, but we will be using the mobile stage for that event.
Okay, that sounds fun. All right, any questions?
No.
Nope.
I move we approve the partnership agreement with Visit Bloomington for Freeze Fest 2026.
I'll second.
A roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
All right, motion is carried. And then in C9, Rebecca Swift has the MOU with Southern Meadows for the rail trail spur operations and responsibilities.
You guys might get sick of me talking about this topic, but Rebecca Swift, Operations and Development Division Director, and I've been here previously to talk about accepting ownership of the bridge, getting the bridge inspected. Now I'm here to present and recommend an approval of this memo of understanding between the City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation and the SOMO Development Company, who's actually the property owner then. And this formalizes long-term responsibilities for the Southern Meadows spur of the Bloomington Rail Trail. And this really outlines the collaborative development and also future management and maintenance of the bridge and the access to the trail for future management and maintenance needs. So SOMO will maintain the segment of trail on its property, but still grant the city of permanent access and for rights needs to inspect, maintain, or repair the bridge. But the bridge itself and everything north of the bridge will become property of the City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation. So in the coming months, I also expect to bring to the board a quick claim deed to accept the parcel officially and make the new trail spur that was acquired by SOMO to facilitate construction of this trail. So I will bring forth the official quick deed for us to officially accept the property, but just getting everything in line, and really this is just an MOU for maintenance and responsibilities. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for Rebecca?
All right. I move we approve the MOU with Southern Meadows for rail trail spur operations and responsibilities.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote of those in favor?
Kathleen Mills,
Aye.
Ellen Rodkey,
Aye.
Jim Whitlatch.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you, Rebecca. And then we move into our Section D reports, where Haskell will tell us about the urban forestry fourth quarter risk report.
Good evening, Haskell Smith, urban forester. So to cap the year off here, a report of what all we kind of did, what's still risk out there. I won't go into too much detail to save our time. I think everybody's a little worried about the snow that's moving in. At the beginning of the year, I identified 47 high-risk trees. We've removed all but 9 of those or addressed their issues. Those 9 have still been inspected, but I've reassessed them to a lower risk rating. So that pretty well removes all our current high-risk trees. It doesn't mean there's not still trees out there that may fall into that category. Just as of our snapshot of inventory, those have been addressed. In here as well were 25 tree grate issues that we were hoping to address due to some staffing issues. I was only able to address about 12 of them, and I waited till the last minute to put this one together, so I didn't actually get those updates in here, but they have been addressed. So yeah, our year-end numbers, we've pruned 1,944 trees, removed 307, planted 786, and inspected about 5,500 trees. We've added 1,300 trees to our inventory, and I've gotten several thousand emails. But altogether, with all those numbers, we've worked on or inspected about 30% of our inventory, which I think's outstanding for the size of our crew.
Okay, and
Yeah.
it was in a separate packet, so I read it yesterday. I don't have it in front of me. There was that huge number of emails and phone calls that you get about trees. Do you remember how many?
To date, I'm just shy of 5,000 emails, a little over 1,000 phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah, I stay busy.
That's a lot of tree emails.
That's why it goes to voicemail more often than not.
Okay. And those are people mostly concerned about safety issues?
No.
No?
Anything you can think of. Hey, yes, there are a lot of safety concerns, but there's also, hey, my tree leaves are falling off. Well, it's October.
Okay.
That happens. Or any other, any number of things. Hey, I saw a kid hitting this tree with a stick. Can you go look at it? Or this one got hit by a truck. Hey, why is there somebody planting trees in my yard? Yeah, everything to do with trees.
Okay. And so 30% you looked at, and then would the goal be to try and get to another, next few months, get to another chunk of trees to assess, or?
In general, so we try to do, over the course of 10 years, have, the turnover, the full reevaluation. So 30%'s pretty good. As far as trees just worked on, I'd like to get, in a 10-year span, the pruning cycle and everything in there. So we're working towards that. We're not quite there. This year is higher because I hired an inventory specialist, and my staffing issue, I have a full-time employee on a weight reduction, so walking around with the iPad is about all I can have him do right now. So my inspections are way up, although neither of those were qualified to do risk assessments.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Any other questions for Haskell about his report?
Not for me.
All right. Thank you for all the
Thank you.
information. And then Leslie will adeptly check online for public comment. Yes.
There is nobody online.
Okay. And is there anyone here
So
in
much for the public service comment.
anyone here in person who would like to comment? I think I know all the faces here, so. Okay, and then we will go back over to Tim for some other announcements.
Yes, good evening. Tim Street, Parks and Recreation Director. I think we have a knack for scheduling meetings when it's going to thunderstorm or
Yeah.
snow or something like that. So there's a little bit of distraction out there. I just want to add on the urban forestry report there at the end, I think being up a net positive 300, 400 on the year, I think I was looking at there is really incredible for our city. If you've been out and about in town right now, our bicentennial round 3 planting, which you approved quite a while ago, these things take a while to work out, is going on. We've had a good planting window here, and so I know I've seen it in my neighborhood, I've seen it in other places around the city, a lot of fresh new trees going in the streets and right-of-ways. So that's really exciting to see that, and we also just had a big replacement of warranty trees at Hopewell Commons for ones that didn't make it from their initial planting. So a lot going on there. Obviously, we are here. This is our last meeting of the year. I want to thank the board. I want to just take a moment to just recognize the outstanding efforts of our staff throughout the year. This year, we had more than 400 unique staff members throughout the year. By the time you count our full-time and our seasonal, temporary, everyone who touches work for us, and all the different ways we serve the community. It's been a really great year. We've obviously had some big highs in terms of getting reaccredited and working on the master plan, and a lot of great projects that I look forward to putting in our annual report and bringing to you all early in the new year. That said, we're heading into, I can't say it's a completely quiet time because there's still things going on. Skate with Santa is this weekend. I'm excited that we are bringing Freeze Fest to Switchyard Park. I think that's a great place for it, a great place to have this community event. And we will continue our work on wrapping up our master plan. We have a staff strategic planning meeting scheduled for January 14th. The surveys for the master plan, the final surveys are out now. We're hoping to get those results in. Our consultant's preparing to summarize all of the feedback efforts and surveying we've done for that meeting on the 14th. And from there, we want to wrap up the plan and bring a draft version to the board for approval. One other thing I'm excited about here early in the new year is we're getting the new lights installed in the Switchyard Pavilion that you all approved a month or two ago. Right in time for the darkest part of the year. So that will be a nice improvement there as well. Other than that, yes, I just want to thank everyone and get us out of here for the snow. Our meetings, we have managed to make a little more regular in the new year. This year we got bounced around on the calendar a little bit, but it is the third Thursday at 5 p.m. And so the first one of those will be January 15th here at 5 p.m. in the new year. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tim, and thanks to all the staff. So, all right. And with that, I will adjourn the December meeting of the Bloomington Board of Park Commissioners.